What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about FARMMI stock, ticker symbol FAMI. Let's take a look at their chart and see what they have going on. So first of all, you can see that they were suffering a bit last Friday, right? However, that has been changed, and they're actually up about 12% today, this Monday, after the weekend. A lot of catalysts have been brewing for them, right? A lot of people have been getting interested in this stock, especially if you look over the past 30 days you can see that we're up off of our lows of around 20 cents per share. We've about doubled, just about doubled. We're almost breaking through 40 cents. We're really trying to break through 40 cents today. You can see that we have been struggling all day, pretty much since market open, right? We bounced off of a 37-cent support level and then moved up to 40, tried breaking through a couple of different times we've tried to break through. We shot up, got bounced back down, shot up, got bounced back down, then tried to break through right here, and it looks like we're attempting another breakthrough right now. We're going to see if this one holds during the course of this video. But what we have to talk about with FARMMI are a couple of reasons why this stock has been going up and what I think it's going to be doing in the future, right? Because I am actually invested in FARMMI. I bought a couple of shares during this massive pump up just over, for a more long-term reason, right? I was buying these shares expecting this stock to continue rising, on a fundamental level over the long term. Didn't care too much about the price that I was getting in at because I understood that this thing could continue blowing up. It had the potential to be doing that, especially looking at the 1-year chart, right? If you're looking at this, then still, 47 cents is very cheap. Now, I have been buying more shares on other days when we were dipping. I was buying, I believe, around here for 35 cents. So, also in the long-term account, but also in a trading account. And that trading account, I actually just exited a couple of my positions in with FAMI when we were bouncing around 40 cents because it looked like there was the potential that we could be bouncing back down. Now, obviously, there is still that chance, right? Just because we're breaking through again doesn't mean that we're going to just shoot up to the moon instantly. Obviously, we've been past 40 cents earlier today, and we have gotten shot back down. It looks like 39 cents held pretty well, though, for this stock. We're not bouncing below that level. It looks like we're continuing upwards and trying to break through 40 cents. However, there is significant volume. Every time we get to this 40-cent level, you can look at the volume. Let's range this correctly, and you can see that there is a lot of selling pressure whenever we have broken through 40 cents. So we're going to see if that continues. It looks like even here you can see the volume bar is much larger than it was before on any of the previous ticks, but we may be holding about 40 cents. We'll just have to watch this time, right? Now, what I like about FARMMI stock is that there are a lot of catalysts that could be moving this thing forward, right? If you're looking at the short interest on Ortex, you can see that we're up 26% today. That is nothing new. We've been increasing dramatically day after day. A lot of new shorts are coming in. This is leading to us having an overall short interest as a percentage of the free float of 14.29%. Now, I will explain this very briefly for those of you who don't know. The reason that the short interest changed by 26%, yet we only have a short interest of 14%, is because when it says the short interest changed by 26%, it means it increased by 26%, like short interest wise. Like, if the short interest was 10 million and it increased by 26%, that means it's 12.6 million. So it's not actually saying that, 26% of the free float has been shorted as of today, right? It's saying that 26% more shorts are coming in than were there yesterday. So that's why the short interest is still only 14%, even though it says the change is 26%. Just in case anyone was curious about that, I found that a little confusing when I first got Ortex. So what we're seeing with this is, if you look at the yellow line right here, you can actually see that FARMMI stock, FAMI, has just been dramatically increasing in short interest, mostly basically as soon as it started pumping. A lot of new shorts started coming in, which doesn't quite make the most sense. Because if you look back at the past 90 days, you can see that we're not even that high compared to where we have been in the past, right? We're only at 40 cents. And shorts were not shorting this thing when the stock was at 40 cents in the past. If you look back at Ortex, you can see that the short interest was rather low in the past. It was somewhat higher than it had been after it had dropped down to around 20 cents. But still, it was only around 2%. Now we're at 14%. It looks like a lot of new shorts are coming in. My guess is they'll continue to come in as this thing, either pumps higher or gets bumped down a little bit lower. My guess is a lot more shorts are probably going to be coming in on this just because this is a high volume play. It has, doubled over the past couple of days. So there is a lot of volatility with it, going one way or the other, right? Hopefully shorts are hoping that this thing will be going down, but that's not a guarantee. Now, what I like about this is that we aren't quite at that level yet where we can expect any kind of short squeeze, right? We're only at 14%. It's not that high, especially considering other stocks that we've looked at, but there is the potential that in the future, If we keep seeing these 26% increases day after day, if you guys know how compound interest works, you know that that will lead to a very high short interest very soon if this kind of pattern continues itself. So I do expect that we'll likely somewhat soon probably get into a position where we could actually start talking about the potential for a short squeeze, and that likely, if we do see big movements upwards, that those movements will actually be exaggerated by shorts who are, who are selling the shares now, right? They're selling their short positions right now at 40 cents or potentially even below, right? If the short interest was up 26% today, a lot of those shorts were probably selling around here. So if that is the case, then we could see a lot of exaggerated movements to the upside. If we say double again and get to maybe 80 cents or something like that, then we could really be looking at a situation where, shorts are down 100% on their money. All we'd have to do is get to 80 cents, and a lot of shorts would probably start then attempting to cover their positions and actually drive the stock price up even more. Now, it's not a guarantee that we're going to get to 80 cents, though. If you do look back in the past, you can see we have been much higher. However, 80 cents will be a very tough level to break, in my opinion, because that is actually where we last saw, this big dip. Around 80 cents, we ended up dipping way down. This stock has been through some rough times, and that's actually because they often do public offerings of their shares, which actually just happened yesterday. That was one of the reasons why this stock was dropping so much on Friday. Sorry, Friday, not yesterday. This stock was dropping quite a bit because of the public offering that they were doing for more shares. Now, that has happened in the past, right? When you see these big drops, it's oftentimes because they're doing public offerings. My guess is that is the main reason why this was falling as well, right? So obviously they are diluting the shares a little bit. However, I think that sometimes these public offerings can be justified, especially with these smaller market cap companies. If you look at FAMI, the market cap is only $100 million. Now, that company has a couple of options. Either it could dilute its market cap a little bit, or it could take out some other kind of debt. And I think that oftentimes the right choice is diluting the market cap, especially when the stock is so cheap. This stock could 10x and be a $1 billion market cap company and still only have a share price of $4. So it wouldn't be that out of the question, for them to dilute their market cap a little bit more, because that is still a relatively reasonably priced stock, right? $4 per share for a $1 billion market cap company doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all, because if you look at companies like Microsoft with $1 trillion market cap, their share price is only, I believe, $100-something. Let's look at Microsoft for 1 second. $283. I was off a little bit on that one. I mostly just hold Microsoft long term. I don't actually trade it. So if you actually do the math on that, and that's a $1 trillion market cap, I guess that kind of equates to FAMI having the same share count as a $2.83 stock. So it's really not out of the question for them to even dilute a little bit more than they already have, because they still don't have that many shares outstanding, right? Only 282 million shares outstanding. And let's look at Microsoft real quick, see how many shares they have outstanding, just to get a reference, 7.51 billion. So still, you can see that there's a lot of room to go with FAMI. It's not like they are drowning their shareholders in additional shares. It's still a relatively low number of shares compared to a lot of other larger companies. Now, obviously, FAMI's a lot smaller. It still has a lot of room to grow, especially with the great news that we were getting on this big pump up of the expansion of their business model and the acquisition that they made into the forestry industry. Now, with FAMI, a lot of people are looking at this stock to buy over the long term. And you can see that on Google Trends, over the weekend, we were seeing a bit less activity than we had been when this thing was really pumping up. However, you can see that we are declining a bit, Google Trends wise, right? We're not as high as we were on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, when the stock was really pumping up. We're a little bit lower. That's not guaranteed to stay the case, right? Because you can actually see FAMI is up 10% today. And if you look at the market, SPY, we are down 1%. So FAMI is a gem of green in a sea of red, right? The market's just been tanking and tanking. If you look at FAMI, they have not been doing that. They've actually been rising and, hitting this resistance level. And my guess is if the markets were going up and people were taking more of a risk on position, then FAMI would have had no problem breaking through this 40-cent level already, right? If more capital was flowing into the markets rather than out. FAMI is an outlier in the sense that they are rising while other stocks are falling. Like if you look at this list of, just some tickers that I tend to watch day to day, FAMI is one of 3 stocks. It's FAMI, CEI, and Tesla that are green today, and the other stocks are all red. So that is very interesting, right? The FAMI is kind of holding its own, and I think that is partly because of the fundamental news that came out just a couple of days ago that really ended up shooting the stock price up, right? People realize that, maybe the markets are getting a little bit overvalued, but FAMI stock is not necessarily overvalued at all, right? Especially if you look back at the past 30 days, you can see they were much, much lower, and only recently have been making back some of their previous price points that they were at. If you look over the past 90 days, you can see they were trading in this range of 37 to 60 cents for a very long time. And we've just recently gotten back into that range, and we're actually still trading near the bottom of that range, right? We're still trading near 37 cents per share. So there is a lot of upside with FAMI, I think, even though they have been declining on Reddit as well. They're down all the way to spot number 20, down 6 spots today, minus 3% mention-wise over the past 24 hours. That's likely just because a lot of other stocks have been increasing mention-wise. That's probably why they're getting pushed down. But even on StockTwits, they are still one of the top trending, most active stocks. Number 7 right here. They're up 10% today, price-wise. But my expectation is that over the course of the day, they'll likely rise because a lot of these, at least the number one thing that's being talked about, Shiba Inu coin, which I am actually a holder of, is up 23% today. I expect that, as interest in Shiba Inu dies down a little bit, maybe FAMI will continue to move up. Bitcoin is being talked about a lot. As these cryptos are talked about more so over the weekends, since the markets aren't open on the weekends, they tend to have a very active following on StockTwits over the weekends. So they are still currently at the top of the list because the markets only just opened about an hour ago. My guess is that FAMI and other stocks will continue to move up in the rankings on StockTwits. More people will start transitioning to them as these cryptos start becoming less discussed, since the actual stock market is open now, and a lot of people do tend to prefer trading stocks to trading cryptos. I trade a little bit of both, but that's just me. I know a lot of people aren't interested in cryptos. A lot of people love them, though. So what we're looking at with FAMI is a situation where we are currently trying to break the 40-cent resistance level. I do think that we have a chance at breaking it. I don't love that we've just been pushed back in a fairly significant way. I'm hoping that 37 cents will hold. It looks like it has held fairly well, right? As we opened above, we opened up today at market open and just shot above 37 cents, also shooting above 40 cents, I will mention, on massive volume. However, we were shot back down. 37 cents has held as a somewhat reliable level. We were rejected right here. We rejected a breakthrough of 37, and then we rejected it twice more over here. And even during the actual market open, we were bouncing down below 37 and rejected that breakthrough. So I'm hoping that 37 will act as a very strong level. If you look back over the past year, you can see that 37 was acting as a very strong support for us before we had this massive downturn in stock price as a public offering went through. So that's understandable that we had that. But now that there is more fundamental news for FAMI and that they've actually been making these acquisitions and showing the investors that they are using the capital they've acquired through these public offerings to make real acquisitions and actually improve the business model, I think that people are starting to turn a brighter eye on FAMI and starting to invest in it again. So that's my opinion on FAMI. I think that we're in a good situation. I don't think that we're going to be dipping too much today. I mean, it's possible. The markets are dipping overall. It's always possible. Just my opinion. I think that we're going to continue to see a green day because FAMI is an outlier today. At least during market open, they're an outlier, right? They're up about 8%, and the markets are down about 1%. So that's a pretty good gain on the day, right? FAMI has become more valued, more intrinsically valued, I suppose, than the markets have, like in the sense that you could buy more shares of other stocks if you were just holding shares of FAMI over the weekend. So that's always a good thing to see, although I'm really not liking these red bars dipping us very close to 37 cents. Hopefully these will get rejected, but that will not happen in this video. This is already a very long video. I'm sorry if I rambled a bit during this. That wasn't my intention, but I kind of got carried away. Very excited about this stock. So anyways, guys, that's all I have for you guys today on FAMI stock. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.